you. Hello, my dear friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is. It's a great on passive day. Today is 10th May 2024. I am Engineer Shushanto Biswas, welcoming all of you to this webinar. Warm greetings from Mission Success family. My dear friends, today we are gonna discuss a very powerful and very useful topic, embracing self-sustainability, a path to personal and global resilience. That is, আমাদের যে ব্যক্তিগত নিজস্ব স্থিতিশীলতা এটাকে গ্রহণ করা বা এটাকে কন্টিনিউ করা, এটাকে বজায় রাখা আমাদের নিজেদের এবং বিশ্বের সহনশীলতার জন্য একটি উপকারী বা একটা বিরাট পথ, একটা ওয়ে, যার মাধ্যমে আমরা সবাই ব্যক্তিগতভাবে এবং সারা বিশ্বের যত মানুষ আছে সবাই আমরা ব্যক্তিগত লাইফে বেনিফিটেড হতে পারি। আমরা যে এখানে বলছি সেলফ সাস্টেনেবিলিটি, দ্যাট ইজ আমাদের যে বিলিফ, আমাদের কনফিডেন্স, আমাদের ট্রাস্ট, এটাকে আমরা সাস্টেনেবলি কন্টিনিউ করতে পারছি কিনা। যদি আমরা সাস্টেনেবলি এটাকে উই ক্যান কন্টিনিউ, দেন আমাদের বেনিফিটটা কি, এবং তার সাথে সাথে সারা বিশ্বে হাউ দ্য হোল ওয়ার্ল্ড উইল বি বেনিফিটেড থ্রু দ্য সেলফ সাস্টেনেবিলিটি, দ্যাট উইল বি ডিসকাসড. So it's a great topic, I should say, and we have with us, as usual, our great friend, I should say, our teacher. He always teaches us several things. He speaks on several topics. We have learned so many things from him. He's a great person. He's none but our great leader, Mr. Jeffrey Morlock. Definitely he will speak on the topic. And another, our guest speaker, Jean Aliba. She is always so smiling. Definitely we are really inspired when we see her, when we listen to her. Really, we are thankful to that lady, Jean Aliba. My dear friends, আমাদের ভিতরে other national, international speakers will also speak on the topic, and our participants are most welcome to speak too. I will request to speak on the topic just after our speakers, and definitely our speakers will speak in English, but for our local community, for our Bengali community, we have another great lady, Rupa Roy. She will translate into Bengali. অর্থাৎ আমাদের যে টপিক, সেই টপিকের উপরে যে বক্তব্য আমাদের স্পেশাল গেস্ট এবং গেস্ট স্পিকার্স তাদের কাছ থেকে আমরা শুনবো, সেগুলো আমরা তার যে কি পয়েন্টস, তার যে সামারি, সেটা বাংলায় ট্রান্সলেট করা হবে। বাট আই রিকোয়েস্ট our special guest, Mr. Jeffrey Morlock, please, you should speak a little slow so that we can absorb all things, we can understand, and we can learn from your speeches. So, my dear friends, I like to say on the topic a few words. That is, in a world where things are uncertain, things are unsure, being self-sustainable is like a light guiding us through tough times, both for ourselves and for the whole world. It is not just about surviving, it's about taking control of our lives, feeling stronger, and living in a way that's good for nature, good for the whole world, for whole humanity. Today, we delve into the significance of embracing self-sustainability and its transformative potential. আজকে আমাদের যে টপিক আছে সেলফ সাস্টেনেবিলিটি, অর্থাৎ স্বস্থিতিশীলতা। আমরা যে থিঙ্কিং, আমরা যে ট্রাস্ট, আমাদের যে কনফিডেন্স, সেই জায়গায় যদি আমরা সাস্টেনেবল, অর্থাৎ আমরা যদি কনস্ট্যান্ট থাকি, আমরা স্থিতি অবস্থায় থাকি, তাহলে আমাদের নিজেদের এবং সারা বিশ্বের কি উপকার হতে পারে সেটা নিয়ে আজকে আমরা আলোচনা করব। The self-resilience. Self-resilience, what do we mean by self-resilience, and what is the benefit of self-resilience? Actually, it improves our autonomy and also empowerment. Self-sustainability empowers individuals to take control of their lives. There are so many benefits also. It also helps us to make our financial stability. Embracing self-sustainability often leads to reduced our expenses that make our financial situation stable. Mental and emotional well-being also help from self-resilience. What about global resilience? Environmental stewardship, that is, self-sustainability aligns with the responsible environmental practices. Resilient communities, economic localization, and also how do we be sustainable? What is the strategy? The strategies for embracing self-sustainability are education and skill building. It is a continuous process. If we like to be sustainable, we have to be educated, and we have to increase our skill definitely on various points, various aspects. Then resource efficiency, practice mindful consumption, prioritize renewable sources, and minimize water generation, and so many things. Also, community engagement. We can engage our community for the better cause of humanity, advocacy, and policy engagement. So many things are there, but finally, I should say that in conclusion, embracing self sustainability is not merely a lifestyle choice, it is a transformative journey towards personal empowerment and global resilience. By cultivating self reliance, fostering environmental stewardship, and nurturing resilient communities, individuals contribute to building a more sustainable, equitable, and resilient future for all. Definitely, our special guest and our guest speaker, Jean Eliba, they will elaborate on it, but I just initiate the space on that topic. So, without any further delay, directly I'll go to our special guest. He will speak. Definitely, we'll listen to him. So, I'll invite our great leader, our great friend, our great teacher, our great advisor in all aspects, Mr. Jeffrey Morlock. In personal life, his professional life, he was a military man, but after his retirement, I'm I'm sure that he is also working like another kinds of military work, that is humanitarian work around the globe, across the globe, with the on passive. He has been in on passive for last 5 years plus. How he has made himself sustainable, definitely he will explain all those to us, and definitely we'll learn and we'll absorb his experience so that we can be sustainable in our journey. So, over to our great leader, Jeffrey Morlock. The mic is yours. Please go ahead.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so very, very much. Boy, I certainly appreciate that. I appreciate being here. And, this has been a pretty good week. It's been a wonderful morning, and I am just in love with life, and I love being here and listening to you guys and watching. I certainly appreciate you, Sushanta, for inviting me here. When we start looking at things, oh, by the way, Gene, I want to thank you too for your continued support, your pleasant outlook, your words of wisdom. They help to expand, our fields of understanding and imagination. And Rupa, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you keep up with it, but thank you so much for your support of this platform and the translations of the content that go on. This morning, I'll talk rather easily about global and corporate sustainability. And then I'm going to break for a translation after several minutes. And then once we come back, we'll pick up and talk about personal sustainability. But before I get into that, excuse me, I didn't really think about my own sustainability, Sushanta, but you brought up a very good point. And as a result of that, I will just kind of, on the fly, so to speak, talk about me, what I'm doing, how I'm living, what my sustainability is, and that sort of thing. Because a lot of my sustainability comes with what I put in, what are my priorities. And, from the top down, I prioritize my spirituality, and then I prioritize my family, and then beyond my family, probably orbiting that solar system, if you will, I have activities that go about maintaining those top two. And then below that, I have things like on passive and writing my books and things of that nature. In a real sense, for kind of a global aspect, if you will, I gave up eating meat and really taking care of myself a while back, so that I'm strictly, usually all cold vegetables and fruit and things like that. And I love it. On occasion, I jump into, I do like cookies on occasion and chips, but I'm very active in my health. I got a good regimen. I'm very active in a lot of things, and I do a lot of do-it-yourself projects. I do a lot of what I call gardening, not necessarily to eat, but I'm out in nature a lot, and I do bushes and shrubs and flowers and things like that I really enjoy, along with all the yard work. So that is all about my sustainability. But if I had to put one key factor on anybody's sustainability, especially my own, I would say it evolves along with whatever your priorities are. And in my case, it's spiritual life and family life. And that drives everything else. And I do love life. So thank you so much for asking about that. Today, though, I wanted to talk about personal or self-sustainability, but, so that we can see how we fit into a bigger picture in a way, I'd like to also talk about globally sustainable things that are happening, or globalization as a whole, perhaps, and even corporate sustainability first. So keep in mind, whether we're talking globalization or corporations or individual sustainability, there's actually three pillars of it. You've got environmental, then you've got social, and then you've got economic. These are put in another way as the 4 Ps, which are people, planet, purpose, and profits. So, profits is not a bad word. Profits, we've all got to have profits to sustain. So we'll talk a little about that too. Additionally, we've got something called resilience that is in the mix, and that and self-sustainability are actually both related to an ability for adaptation, or to adapt rather to challenges, and to sustain ourselves independently of what's on the external forces for us, outside of our control. Resilience, because it's the ability to adapt, to withstand shocks and turmoil, if you will, chaos, right? To deal with adversity. And it goes hand in hand with sustainability. So the two of those are kind of locked in a dance step, if you will. And as such, resilience is also important for sustainable, inclusive growth. Inclusive growth because it helps create strong foundations for future growth. And that, as an example, you could look at resilient communities or even individuals that have strong support systems, and through those support systems we become stronger through crisis, so we learn how to manage and to cope with things in a more effective way. Now, having said all that, when we start talking globally, with globalization, globally speaking, sustainability can be supported and made a lot more effective because we're sharing ideas, right? We're sharing best practices across borders. You've heard us say that borders have gone by the wayside because of the internet, because of global communication and all of that. And so even though you can look at a map and say there's borders here and borders there, I'll tell you, there's several countries on this one platform that we're addressing and we're looking into and collaborating with and talking to right now. So we are crossing those borders. When we lead across borders like that for sustainability and for practices that lead to sustainability, what we're actually doing is promoting a goal of sustainable development, which refers to meeting the needs that we have today, of the present, right? Without compromising the ability that might affect, future generations, so that they can still meet their own needs. We are, after all, right? We want to leave a legacy, a positive, good legacy. Because of its role in sustainable development and its contribution to environmental issues, globally speaking, sustainability is crucial because it is sustainable and sustaining developments that allow us as a society to practice the needs, or practicing to meet the needs, I should say, of the current generation, again, without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. So we've got an eye on what we're doing today to make life easier and healthier for us, the quality of life to go up, without jeopardizing what we're going to be leaving our kids or how their future is going to unwind. Again, it goes back to what On Passive says, in that we are going to leave and be able to leave a legacy. And in short, without sustainability, we can leave no positive, enduring legacy. So, you could twist this around also to mean that sustainability is our society's ability to exist and develop without using up all the natural resources and things that we have that empower us in a way to live in the future as well. Sustainable globalization should be able to enhance our needs of water, our energy needs, our food securities, all these things. Every bit of this should be able to be addressed as a result of globalization or sustainable on the global level, things that we're looking at doing, and those things empower people and they reduce inequalities right along the way. Because when we start at the lower level, the individual level, sustainability kind of works its way up and through the global level. Done effectively, this is going to support some very long-term goals through the implementation of systems and frameworks, support from global, national, and even local entities that we support as individuals, which we'll also talk about. Sustainability, again, can improve the qualities of our lives, and it gives us hope for that quality, for something for being able to protect our ecosystems, preserve natural resources, and that such thing for our kids and for future generations. Now, in business, sustainability is associated with an organization's holistic approach, and this is a strategy that connects, if you will, all the departments within a business or within an organization, and it works together as a team towards a shared goal. And this means for goals of sustainability, it's taking everything into account. The business takes everything into consideration, from manufacturing to logistics to customer service, everything, right? It's all tied together, and one will affect the other. And to that end, corporate sustainability is a business strategy. and it's a strategy whose goal is to create long-term value for shareholders and employees, consumers, right? All by managing a company's environmental, social, and economic impacts. We've talked about this. Mr. Mufar has talked about this regarding on passive. And corporate sustainability focuses on improving social, economic, and environmental impact, just like on passive is doing and Mr. Mufar talks about. And to that end, it will set goals to improve that company's impact on things that might affect us as stakeholders, which are, employees, clients, communities, regulators, and in our case, even governments. And a sustainable corporation recognizes that its actions can have a significant impact on the world. And, right, it's going to have goals to minimize those negative impacts while contributing at the same time to positive societal change. Mr. Marfar has talked about that too. Wow, they are the epitome, in my opinion, of a sustainable company going wild. But this means that the companies also consider the broader impacts of the operations that it has on external factors, things outside the company, like employees' families, like the natural resources that are used to empower it, and even the environment, so that it's not operating simply on a strategy to drive profits. We've talked about that too, in that is not on passive's focus. And Mr. Mufar has even gone so far as to say, that he is not, or on passive is not greedy when it comes to profits. And ways to do this, ways to consider broader impacts is like moving over to renewable energy sources, or choosing greener infrastructures and equipment, reducing our own corporate energy consumptions, even raising awareness among the employees is a step in the right direction, as is all awareness of what we're trying to do. And it also involves managing risks, as well as taking advantage of any opportunities that may come through some economic or environmental or even social developments. And as such, sustainability strategies in business, they're actually intended to promote longevity, hence the word sustainability, right? Transparency, even employee development along those lines, so that they continue it as a rolling goal. And companies that are committed to their employees, especially when they're recognized for it, like we're certainly going to be, and like we're being recognized around the world for a lot of the things we're trying to do, they often attract top talent, just like we have, right? They've got higher productivity, they've got better productivity, they've got lower turnover rates, and in general, we see that they've got happier employees, and that brings an added benefit of brand loyalty as well. And I want to stop right there, Rupa, so that you can translate, and then when we come back, we'll start talking about self-sustainability. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, my dear friends. How powerful words he has used. He started with his how he maintained his self-sustainability. And he said that his prioritize his spirituality, family, and of course his health and other activities. That is how he has explained how he is balancing his work, family, spirituality, his study, and global issues. So sustainability is most important for each and every individual, and impact of that sustainability is helpful for the global humanity. So it's a great space. He has mentioned all those aspects. Especially he has said that sustainability depends on three things, that is social, environmental, and also economic. And there is a four P's, that is people, planning, place, and profit. So sustainability covers all those things, and that how that sustainability, that is self-sustainability, affects the global benefit. He has explained, he has covered all those things. But I would request Rupa Roy, please translate into Bengali for our local community so that we can understand on our own language. Over to Rupa Roy.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. And especially thanks to Jeffrey Mollock, sir. You have uttered so many key factors of sustainability. Thank you, sir. জেফরি মল্লক স্যার আমাদেরকে এই সাস্টেনেবিলিটি বা আজকের টপিকটা সম্পর্কে, যে আমি টপিকটা আরেকবার পুরোটা বলছি, যে এমব্রেসিং সেলফ সাস্টেনেবিলিটি, পাথ টু পার্সোনাল অ্যান্ড গ্লোবাল রেজিলিয়েন্স। স্যার যেটা বলেছেন যে আমাদের স্থায়িত্ব বা স্থিতিশীলতা, সেই নিজস্ব স্থিতিশীলতা সম্পর্কে বিভিন্ন পয়েন্ট তুলে ধরেছে। তো প্রথমে আমি জেফরি মল্লক স্যার যেটা বলেছেন যে আমাদেরকে কিভাবে সাস্টেনেবিলিটি চালনা করতে হবে, কিভাবে সাস্টেনেবিলিটি নিজেদের মধ্য দিয়ে চালিত করতে হবে পার্সোনালি, স্পেশালি সেখানে আমাদের কি করতে হবে, যে এখানে কোনটাকে প্রাধান্য দিতে হবে, বা স্যার কোনটাকে, জেফরি মল্লক স্যার কোনটাকে প্রাধান্য দেন, সেটা হচ্ছে তার স্পিরিচুয়ালিটি বা উনি প্রেয়ার বা আধ্যাত্মিকতা যেটা বলেছেন, বা নিজের ধর্ম সম্পর্কে সেটাকে, যে আমরা যেখানেই থাকি যার যার ধর্মকে আমরা অবশ্যই প্রায়োরিটাইজ দেব। ফ্যামিলি এবং তার নিজস্ব কার্যক্রম এবং স্পেশালি অনপ্যাসিভের সাথে তার সংযোগ, এবং স্যার বলেছেন যে তার বই পড়ারও অভ্যেস আছে, এবং গ্লোবালি এই অ্যাসপেক্ট গুলো সবার সামনে তুলে ধরা। স্যার আরো কিছু বলেছেন তার পছন্দ সম্পর্কে, তো আমি পরবর্তী স্টেপে চলে যাচ্ছি। তো সাস্টেনেবিলিটির কি ফ্যাক্টর বা প্রধান চাবিকাঠি যেগুলো বলেছেন স্যার, আমাদেরকে প্রত্যেকের, আমরা যদি ফ্যামিলির মধ্যে, ফ্যামিলি লাইফের মধ্যে থাকি, তাহলে অবশ্যই আমাদের কিন্তু চিন্তাটা থাকবে যে আমরা কিভাবে একটি সুন্দরভাবে নিজেদেরকে জীবনযাপন করতে পারি। এবং শুধুমাত্র নিজেদেরকে যদি আমরা এই নিজেদের পরিবার থেকে সুন্দরভাবে চালনা করতে পারি বা সুন্দর স্থায়িত্ব নিয়ে আসতে পারি পরিবারের বা আমাদের নিজেদের প্রতি, তাহলে কিন্তু আমরা একদম গ্লোবালি বা বিশ্বব্যাপী সেই সাস্টেনেবিলিটিটাকে নিয়ে আসতে পারবো। সেক্ষেত্রে বলা হয়েছে যে একজন নিজের উন্নতি, ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল ডেভেলপমেন্ট সবচেয়ে জরুরি। এক্ষেত্রে কি ফ্যাক্টরস, তাহলে যদি ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল ডেভেলপমেন্ট হয়ে থাকে, আমাদের কোন দিকে নজর রাখতে হবে, আমাদের মানে কি বলে এনভায়রনমেন্টাল সাইড থেকে বা সামাজিক দিক থেকে, ইকোনমিক্যাল আর্থিক অবস্থান দিক থেকে যদি আমাদের স্থায়িত্ব বা স্থায়ী একটি সমাধান চলে আসে, তাহলে কিন্তু আমরা সবাইকেই সহযোগিতার হাত বাড়িয়ে দিতে পারবো। এক্ষেত্রে স্যার 4টি পি এর উল্লেখ করেছেন, যেটি হচ্ছে পিপল, প্ল্যানিং, প্রোগ্রেস এন্ড প্রফিট। আমরা তাহলে যদি আমরা সঠিক প্ল্যান করে থাকি, তাহলে নিশ্চয়ই আমরা প্রোগ্রেস পাবো, এবং প্রোগ্রেস বা উন্নতির সাথে সাথে আমরা কিন্তু আমাদের সেই মূল্য বা ভ্যালু সেটাও পাবো। তো আমাদেরকে স্যার আরেকটি পয়েন্ট উল্লেখ করেছেন, যেটা হচ্ছে চ্যালেঞ্জ একসেপ্ট করা, এবং চ্যালেঞ্জ যে একসেপ্ট করতে পারবে অবশ্যই সে কিন্তু একটি নতুন স্থায়ী নতুন একটি পরিবেশে নিজেকে খাপ খাইয়ে নিতে পারবে। তো আমরা অলরেডি দেখছি যে অনপ্যাসিভ আমাদের জন্য একটি চ্যালেঞ্জের মতোই। আমরা নিজেদেরকে স্থায়ী একটি সমাধান দিতে হলে আমাদেরকে অবশ্যই চ্যালেঞ্জ গ্রহণ করতে হবে। তো পরবর্তীতে স্যার যেটা বলেছেন যে আমরা যে প্ল্যাটফর্মে আছি, এই প্ল্যাটফর্মে থেকে কিন্তু আমরা অনেক দেশের সাথে বা অনেক বর্ডার বা অনেক আমাদের বর্ডারের বাউন্ডারি কিন্তু এখন নেই। অনপ্যাসিভের মাধ্যমে আমরা বর্ডার বাউন্ডারিটাকে অ্যাভয়েড করতে পেরেছি, সবার সাথে একটি সংযোগ স্থাপনা করতে পেরেছি। সেটাও কিন্তু একটি স্থায়িত্ব বা স্থিতিশীল অবস্থান তৈরি করা, নিজস্ব স্থিতিশীল অবস্থান তৈরি করার জন্য অবশ্যই জরুরি। এবং এই আমাদের সাস্টেনেবিলিটি কেন দরকার, নিজস্ব আমরা যদি বলি যে আমাদের একটা লেগেসি ইনকাম দরকার পরবর্তী জেনারেশনের জন্য, আমরা পরবর্তী জেনারেশনকে একটি সুরক্ষিত, আমাদের পরবর্তী জেনারেশনকে একটি সুরক্ষিত অবস্থানে দেখতে চাই, এবং সেটাকে যদি আমরা চালনা করতে চাই বা সেটাকে যদি আমরা নিজেদের মধ্যে ধরে রাখতে চাই, তাহলে অবশ্যই আমাদের কিন্তু পজিটিভ অ্যাটিটিউড থাকতে হবে। আমরা যদি পজিটিভ ওয়েতে চিন্তা করি, তাহলে কিন্তু আমাদের সেটা সম্ভব। যদি আমরা বলি যে আমরা আমাদের নিজেদেরকে চালানোর জন্য প্রত্যেকেরই এনার্জি দরকার, ওয়াটার, ফুড, খাবার, এই সমস্ত সবকিছু সিকিউরিটি থাকবে শুধুমাত্র নিজের স্থায়ী একটি অবস্থান যদি তৈরি করতে পারি, এবং নিজের স্থায়ী অবস্থান তৈরি করতে পারলে গ্লোবালি সবার ক্ষেত্রেই সম্ভব। তো বিজনেসের ক্ষেত্রে আমরা এই সাস্টেনেবিলিটির কথা স্যার যেটা উল্লেখ করেছেন, যে একটি সঠিক অর্গানাইজেশনের অ্যাসোসিয়েশন সেখানে দরকার, একটি সঠিক অর্গানাইজেশন বা সংস্থা বা কোম্পানির সহযোগিতা সেখানে দরকার যদি বিজনেসের ক্ষেত্রে সাস্টেনেবিলিটি আনতে হয়। তার সাথে সাথে হচ্ছে সেই বিজনেসের বা সেই কোম্পানির টিম ওয়ার্ক এবং সকলের একসাথে কাজ করা। এবং আমাদেরকে আরেকটি বিষয় উল্লেখ করেছেন স্যার, সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের গোল নির্ধারণ, আমাদের টার্গেট নির্ধারণ। যদি আমরা আমাদের টার্গেটটাকে নির্ধারণ করতে পারি, অবশ্যই আমরা বিজনেসে সাস্টেনেবিলিটি বা আমাদের লাইফের সাস্টেনেবিলিটি আনতে পারবো। সো এই হচ্ছে আমার কথা। এবং তারপরে স্যার যেটা বলেছেন যে আমরা যদি বিজনেসের ক্ষেত্রে যে ট্রান্সপারেন্সির ব্যাপারটা উল্লেখ করে থাকি বা ট্রান্সপারেন্সির কথাটা বলে থাকি, অলরেডি আমরা কিন্তু আমাদের অ্যাশমোফারে স্যারের কাছ থেকে আমরা অন প্যাসিভের ট্রান্সপারেন্সি বা একদম ক্লিয়ার ভিশন যেটা স্যার কিন্তু আমাদের দেখিয়েছেন। সো এখানে কিভাবে আমরা নিজেদেরকে ট্যালেন্ট করতে পারি বা এমপ্লয়িজ যারা আছেন অন প্যাসিভের সাথে তারা কিভাবে টপ ট্যালেন্টেড এবং তাদের অ্যাক্টিভিটিস দিয়ে শুধুমাত্র আমাদের জন্য বা সাধারণ ফাউন্ডারের জন্য বেনিফিট বয়ে আনছেন, তার একটি সুন্দর ধারণা উল্লেখ দিয়েছেন আমাদেরকে জেফরি মরলক স্যার। সো ওভার টু হোস্ট স্যার।
Thank you, Rupa. Thank you so much for your nice translation. My dear friends, আপনারা যারা শুনলেন, অ্যাকচুয়ালি বাংলায় যারা ট্রান্সলেশন শুনলেন, জেফরি মরলক স্যার উনি খুব সুন্দরভাবে বলেছেন যে সাস্টেনেবিলিটি অর্থাৎ আমাদের স্থিতিশীলতা, আমরা যদি আমাদের লাইফের গোলকে অ্যাচিভ করতে চাই, আমাদের গোলে আমরা রিচ করতে চাই, তাহলে সাস্টেনেবিলিটির কোনো বিকল্প নেই। অর্থাৎ আমাদের অবস্থা স্থিতিশীল থাকতে হবে, আমাদের যে টার্গেট, আমাদের যে উদ্দেশ্য, সে জায়গায় আমাদের ফোকাস থাকতে হবে। যেমন ওয়ান প্যাসিভের ক্ষেত্রে উনি উদাহরণ দিয়ে বলেছেন যে ওয়ান প্যাসিভের সিও বা ওয়ান প্যাসিভ সে কিভাবে কনস্ট্যান্টলি একটি টিম ওয়ার্কের মাধ্যমে তার যে গোল বা তার যে টার্গেট, সেই টার্গেট অ্যাচিভ করার জন্য কিন্তু কনস্ট্যান্টলি কাজ করে যাচ্ছে। এবং এখানে শুধু তাই নয়, যে টোটাল টিম আছে তাদেরকে রিকগনিশনের মাধ্যমে তাদেরকে বেনিফিট করছে বা করার চেষ্টা করছে। অফকোর্স আমরা যারা ফাউন্ডিং মেম্বার্স এই ওয়ান প্যাসিভের সাথে যুক্ত আছি, তারাও কিন্তু আলটিমেটলি বেনিফিটেড হতে চলেছি ডিউ টু সাস্টেনেবিলিটি অফ দ্য company. So thank you so much. Again, I request Jeffrey Moller to complete his second part or the last part on the topic.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sushant. I certainly appreciate that. And thank you, Rupa, also. I appreciate the effort and wow, you do such a good job. I'm not sure how you do it, but thank you. Excuse me. Self-sustainability, when we talk about that sort of thing, personal sustainability, these things apply the same principles as does corporate sustainability, but it applies it to an individual lifestyle as opposed to, a larger one, hence the word self. Just like sustainability as a whole, self-sustainability is also a rather vital concept. It's all about the ability of an individual to provide, for ourselves wherever and whenever we can, so that we're not relying so much on external resources or external help or help outside of what we can do for ourselves. And this doesn't mean we have to, it's not an all or nothing thing where you've got to go off grid and live like a hermit or anything at all, anything like that. I mean, you kind of meet it where you live, and it just means that there are things that we can do to help ensure our quality of life. There are practical things like, excuse me, like setting the heat, the thermostats, the AC and the water at, maybe a little more economical temperatures. Simple things like, it might take a little more work, but in my opinion, are much more rewarding, like cooking from scratch or doing some gardening or sewing and mending some of our own clothes. A big one on my list is do-it-yourself repairs. And all of these can make a big difference in personal sustainability. In doing these things, not only enhance our self-sufficiency, but they also give us, especially if you're out in nature, doing your own yard work and doing gardening and stuff like that, that also deepens our connection with the world and with nature in general, the world around us. But the point is, these skills empower us to rely less on external services and products, and that's what promoting self-sustainability in today's very fast-paced, interconnected world is all about. It becomes, if you will, a mindset. You know, there's been a lot of talking recently about mindsets, but sustainability can become a mindset in that it increases resiliency as well. And practicing it can be done using not only these personal things that I mentioned, but also this public sustainability mechanisms that we can use, like supporting local businesses, supporting sustainable businesses, buying secondhand items as opposed to brand new ones, avoiding single-use products, things like this. We can participate in local programs or initiatives that are put out, in our local economies. We can embrace a sharing economy even. And by this, I mean, we can share resources. We can share tools and skills with neighbors and friends to reduce waste, promote collaboration. As an example, there was one time that I had built a deck for a friend of mine who was a master electrician, and in return, he came over and he wired my swimming pool so that the pumps and everything worked, and it was all legal and done nicely. So we were working together on that, and it helped us. There's also some pretty big things going on in the globe, economically speaking, that we can plug into. Two of the top ones, in my opinion, have to do with two specific types of economy, if you will, that have kind of risen up over the last several years. On the one side, you've got what we call a circular economy, and on the other, or actually a part of all that, is what we call a gig economy. Now, a circular economy is a sustainable economic model whose goal is to reduce waste, pollution, and resource management, or to have more resource management. And it does a lot of that to kind of slow down or stop the depletion of resources. And it does that by maintaining what we have, by reusing things that we can, recycling, if you will, right, the materials. And we do that for as long as possible. So through maintenance, reuse, and recycling, we can do a whole lot for ourselves and for our economy. And economic growth in a circular economy is actually achieved through that combination of things, which is a combination of increased revenues as well from the circular activities, which also give us lower production costs to support sustaining the activities that we want to work towards and that help us to become self-sufficient. A gig economy, on the other hand, is one that uses temporary and even part-time positions for work rather than full-time permanent employees, right? It's not your typical 9-to-5 job. Gig work is freelance work. It could also be kind of a side hustle thing. If you into side hustles, or what Dr. Bill says, a side gig. The gig economy is a free market system where organizations can hire independent workers for short-term commitments or gigs. And that term gig is actually slang for a job that lasts, a specific amount of time. But traditionally, it started out by musicians who would get jobs that would describe their performance engagements. And in the gig economy, work often done through digital platforms and such are called gigs. And they may be done through apps or on a website. But all of it, regardless, is characterized by the prevalence of small, shorter term contracts. and gig workers, they receive wages based on one-time projects, or until the gig is complete, the gig is up, in a sense. The workers also, they kind of sacrifice, though, because they don't get really a regular income. The gig economy, in a real sense, is all about global labor markets where the companies and independent contractors set short-term, on-demand kind of professional relationships where you can gain flexibility and independence, and that's a great thing, but on the other side of that, just so you're aware, there's not a lot of job security, and once the job is done, so is the employment, so the payment for that's going to stop as well. Another one, though, that we've seen the rise on huge in the last couple, 3, 4 years, several years, has been virtual attendance. And we contribute to our own sustainability by attending webinars and teleconferences and, office or team meetings virtually, just like what we're doing here now. And these are all options that reduce our personal costs, travel-related emissions for, going back and forth to work, the cost of that, even on venues like this one, switching to digital materials, digital flyers, newsletters, invoices, things like that, that all helps to reduce paper waste and associated resources. And by really embracing self-sustainability, we find that personal growth, environmental stewardship, and community resilience, all of these things come from doing all of this sustainable work by us, for us. And by embracing it, we can not only make our lives better and have a higher quality of life and be less stressful, but it reduces our carbon footprint, it promotes social responsibility, and it contributes positively to the entire economy. And that's what I meant when I said when we start at this level, and as we do it, it grows. And we support businesses to do it, and then supporting the businesses, they support the global efforts and cross boundaries, and so it all works together to help the whole. Now, we've got certain principles of sustainability, self-sustainability in particular, but keep in mind, as we talk about some of these, they really, for the most part, apply to sustainability as a whole, right? In that it gives us autonomy. Self-sustainability emphasizes individual and community autonomy, being able to do things ourselves without going, to Uncle Sam or to the government for help, or, to whatever. And it encourages self-reliance in decision-making. It also brings resourcefulness to us. It gets us kind of getting our imaginative juices flowing, if you will, to promote some creative problem solving, brings a little innovation out, and helps us to make more efficient resource management decisions. It brings us resilience, right? Sustainability fosters adaptability and resilience in the face of either a known change or even uncertain change, but regardless, it helps us to overcome and adapt, and helps us with difficulties. And it also helps us, as a principle, we look at things holistically as we approach what we consider maybe a challenge or something that we want to overcome. And we do that by considering the interconnectedness of social, economic, environmental, and even the personal aspects of how things work and our own sustainabilities. Practicing self-sustainability, again, it goes back to renewable energy, right? Harnessing solar or wind, or what I like, and I see what's coming on the horizon that we should see in the market very soon, is designer magnetics and things like that with zero carbon footprints, that use zero external fuels, things that are really incredible, that I know, at any rate, they stop or seriously reduce reliance on what we call fossil fuels. Local food systems too, consuming local organic products, produce. All of this supports food security and community development. Obviously, water conservation, again, a big one. Efficient water management and harvesting rainwater, minimizing waste, ensuring its availability. I know that there are systems coming on the market now that can pull glacial pure water right out of thin air, if you will, even, in percentages that are lower than what you'd find in typical deserts. It can pull 1,500 liters a single unit, 1,500 liters a day, and that's just a small personal unit. I mean, they've got some pretty neat things coming out. We also, with this sustainability and practicing it, ways are waste reduction and recycling. Obviously, implementing the circular economy we talked about, practices that sort of thing, minimizing waste, promoting recycling, encouraging upcycling, if you will. On the other side of that, and to help that, we use our mind, right, and be mindful about our own consumptions. We adopt we don't have to live like a hermit, but we do want a minimalist, that's a tough word, lifestyle in a sense, buying secondhand, supporting sustainable products, things that reduce environmental impact, right? Community building, helping each other, doing collaborative efforts, skill sharing, knowledge exchange. All these strengthen community bonds and foster collective resilience. Personal development, investing in our own education about these things, our own self-care, our own health. More and more you find that we regain our power that we once gave away when we were taught, if we get feeling ill or we think something's wrong with us, we go to a doctor who tells us this is what's wrong, this is what you need, instead of figuring it out ourselves and understanding that we have control over our own bodies. Even our emotional intelligence, right? All of these things enhance our individual capacity for self-sustainability. And there's a lot of benefits to self-sustainability, a lot of reasons why we may want to go ahead and do this, even starting at just a little bitty level, just a little thing, environmental stewardship, right? All these things that we're doing reduces the larger carbon footprint. It conserves resources, promotes ecological balance, if you will. It gives us what we call economic empowerment, meaning that it encourages local economies, reduces dependence on the external resources from those economies, and it fosters a more financial resilience within that economy, so also within our personal economies. It also strengthens something that we call a social cohesion, or in a sense, it bonds us, it strengthens our community ties, promotes collective actions, enhances our social well-being, draws us closer together. And that in turn, again, gives us personal growth, develops self-awareness, self-reliance, emotional intelligence, all sorts of things like that. Now, the bottom line here is that embracing self-sustainability offers a very transformative path to personal and global resilience. You're going to understand once you start doing this and you start cultivating more sustainability in your life, that it's going to grow you as a person, and it's going to add to all the things that make you, in my opinion, more human. And by adapting its principles and practices, individuals as well as communities can actually cultivate their own autonomy, their own resourcefulness, and grow in resilience. And all of this helps us to ensure a very thriving, regenerative future for everybody. And as we navigate through what is got to be, it's got to be irreversibly a very diverse, interconnected world. I mean, it's not going to get any less diverse, and it certainly isn't going to become less connected. I mean, self-sustainability is a means of providing hope for today and future generations, starting at the individual level, and it expands outward as we consider others, even before sometimes we consider ourselves. And that's what it's all about, right? I mean, living well, leaving a legacy for our kids. I mean, hey, we are in the right place at the right time. Now, on passive is, in my opinion, the premier model of sustainability when it comes to business. Not only that, but it's modeling a life model for us that is also a premier model of sustainability. The marketing platform that we've got with its digital ecosystem, the innovation labs, the R&D, its data center with global connectivity, strategic partnerships, physical products. Man, I mean, it goes on, and there's stuff we don't even know about. Yeah, I mean, we've hit a few snags. I mean, what serious company doesn't, right? But look at what Mr. Mufara has accomplished. And through it all, he has set us up for personal sustainability. He's lifting us. He's giving us a way to be successful. He's modeled the heart, right, for sharing that success with those around us to such an extreme extent that we've actually got a stated goal of lifting humanity. And as we do that, our sustainability is going to fuel the sustainability of others until they themselves are able to lift others and show them the way. That's who we are. That's the journey we're on. So where you're at right now, enjoy it. Enjoy the journey right where you're at on the way to where you're going, because we're still getting ready to be in the best shape of our lives, and it's coming. So I'm going to drop it right there. Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate the opportunity to talk. And back to you, Sushanta.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey Morlock. Jeffrey Morlock, he has explained so many things regarding self-sustainability and its benefits and how to practice self-sustainability. But I'm not, definitely Rupa will translate into Bengali, but the finishing lines, the bottom lines he has mentioned that self-sustainability transforms personal and global resilience. Personal and global resilience and self-sustainability is needed for our next generation, that on passive and its activities that will create a legal, that will build a legal, real legacy for our kids. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Now I request Rupa Roy, please translate into Bengali.
Thank you once again, Jeffrey Mollock sir. সেলফ সাস্টেনেবিলিটির উপরে স্যার যে ধারণাটা আমাদেরকে দিলেন, আমাদের ব্যক্তিগত বা প্রত্যেকের জীবন কিভাবে আমরা অনেকটা মানে এক্সটার্নাল রিসোর্সেস মানে আমাদের বাহিরের বা বাহ্যিক যে আমাদের যে রিসোর্স গুলো আছে বা আমাদের উৎসগুলো আছে সেখান থেকে আমরা নিজেদেরকে কিভাবে আরো ডেভেলপ করতে পারি। এখানে স্যার বলেছেন যে আমাদের কোয়ালিটি লাইফ লিড করার বলেছেন। স্যার অলরেডি রেফারেন্স দিয়েছেন যে কুকিং, গার্ডেনিং উনি যেগুলো করে থাকেন এবং তার মাধ্যমে উনি ন্যাচারাল লাইফের সাথে যোগাযোগ যেটা বলেছেন যে আমাদের যদি আশেপাশের মানুষের সাথে বা আমরা যারা অনেকে দেখা যায় সকালে আমরা কিছুটা গার্ডেনিং এর কাজ করে থাকি, কেউ হয়তো কৃষি কাজও করে থাকেন, এটা যদি করতে পারেন বা আপনি শুধু নিজের ডেভেলপমেন্টের কথা মানে বলতে গিয়ে যেখানে আমরা আশেপাশের কাউকে কোনো একটা কাজের সহযোগিতাও করতে পারি, সেখানেও কিন্তু আমাদের সাস্টেনেবিলিটি তৈরি হয়। এর মধ্যে থেকে আমাদের সবচেয়ে বেশি জরুরি যেটা দরকার সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের মাইন্ডসেট এবং আমাদের প্র্যাকটিস। আমাদের যেই প্র্যাকটিসটা হচ্ছে এই প্র্যাকটিসটা হচ্ছে যে আমরা আরেকজনকে সহযোগিতা করব এবং নিজেরা তো স্টাবলিশ বা নিজেরা সাস্টেনেবল পর্যায়ে পৌঁছাবোই, কিন্তু তার পাশাপাশি আমাদের আশেপাশের সবকিছুকে একটা সহনশীল বা স্থায়ী পর্যায়ে আমরা নিয়ে যাব। এবং সাস্টেনেবল বিজনেস এর ক্ষেত্রে যেটা বলেছেন যে আমরা যদি মানে এই বিজনেসটাকে সাস্টেনেবল বিজনেস তৈরি করতে হলে বেসিক্যালি আমরা যদি আমাদের আশেপাশের লোকাল প্রোগ্রাম গুলোতে জয়েন করি, সেখানে আমরা আমাদের আইডিয়া বা আমাদের এই চিন্তা ভাবনাকে যদি আমরা শেয়ার করি, তো অবশ্যই আরো কয়েকজন মানুষের সাথে নতুন ভাবে আইডিয়া একটি তৈরি হবে, একটি নতুন নেটওয়ার্ক তৈরি হবে। তার রিটার্নে আমরা কি পাবো, যে সুন্দর কিছু আলাপ আলোচনা হবে, সুন্দর কিছু মন্তব্য চলে আসবে এবং সেটাতে আমরা নিজেদেরকেও একটি মানে কি বলবো যে নিজেদেরকে একটি সুন্দর অবস্থানে দাঁড় করাতে পারবো। স্যার যে পয়েন্টটা বলেছেন যে সার্কুলার ইকোনমি, এখানে ইকোনমিক্যাল ডেভেলপমেন্ট বা ইকোনমিক্যাল মানে স্থায়ী একটি সমাধানের মডেল বলেছেন স্যার। সেখানে আপনাকে ম্যানেজমেন্ট করতে হবে কিভাবে আপনি নিজেকে একটি স্থায়ী পজিশনে নিতে পারেন বা নিজেকে একটি স্থায়িত্ব দান করতে পারেন। তো সেক্ষেত্রে স্যার বলেছেন যে আমরা যদি অনেকেই দেখা যায় টেম্পোরারি কোনো মানে কি বলে যে টেম্পোরারি ভ্রাম্যমান মানে পার্ট টাইম কোনো কাজের দিকে মনোযোগ দিয়ে থাকি, অবশ্যই সেটা কিন্তু আমাদেরকে মানে সার্বিক সমস্যার সমাধান দিতে পারবে না। সেটা এক সময় কিছুটা সময়ের জন্য হতে পারে, আমাদের আর্থিকভাবে উন্নয়ন আসতে পারে পার্ট টাইম কোনো কাজ করে, কিন্তু সেটা এক সময় একটি হ্যাসেলে তৈরি হতে পারে বা আমাদের জন্য একটি উপদ্রব হতে পারে। সাপোজ অনেকে ফ্রিল্যান্সিং করে থাকেন, তো সেক্ষেত্রে তার কিন্তু একটি স্থায়ী সমাধান হয় না। অনেকে যারা আমরা আমরা হয়তো ভাবি যে আমরা একটি জব করব বা ফুল টাইম জবে যে আমাদের সেই স্থায়িত্বটা তৈরি হয়, কিন্তু পার্ট টাইম জবে সেটা থাকে না, একটি দুশ্চিন্তা কোনো না কোনো সময় আমাদের তৈরি হয়েই আসে। তো অনেকেই এই ধরনের কাজগুলো করে থাকেন বা জীবন চালানোর জন্য করতে হয়, কিন্তু আমরা যদি একটি স্থায়ী সমাধানে যেতে চাই তো আমাকে সেই অর্গানাইজেশনের মাধ্যমেই আসতে হবে। তো আমরা সেক্ষেত্রে কি করব যে গ্লোবালি আমাদের আমাদের ইনকামটাকে রেগুলার করতে হলে কিন্তু মানে আমাদের যে ইনকামটা বা আমাদের আর্থিক সুবিধাটা যদি আমরা রেগুলার করতে চাই, তাহলে কিছু পদক্ষেপ আমাদের গ্রহণ করতে হবে। সেই পদক্ষেপগুলো নিয়ে স্যার একটু বলেছেন যে আমরা আমাদের কোম্পানিতে কি পাচ্ছি, ডিজিটাল ম্যাটেরিয়ালস পাচ্ছি। সো ডিজিটাল ম্যাটেরিয়ালস গুলো অবশ্যই আমরা জানি যে এটা ফিউচারিস্টিক কতটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট হতে পারে, এবং এই ডিজিটাল ম্যাটেরিয়াল গুলো হচ্ছে পার্সোনাল গ্রোথের জন্য ইম্পর্টেন্ট। ব্যক্তিগতভাবে আপনি যদি নিজেকে একটি আলাদা পজিশনে তৈরি করতে চান, তবে অবশ্যই আপনাকে এগুলো দিতে অবশ্যই প্রয়োজন আপনার। এবং সবচেয়ে সবকিছুর মূলে হচ্ছে আমাদের রেজিলিয়েন্স বা সহনশীলতার কথা বলেছেন। এই আমরা এই বর্তমান স্ট্রেসফুল টাইমের মধ্যে বা এই আমরা অনেকে বিভিন্ন রকম স্ট্রেসের মধ্যে থাকি। তো সেক্ষেত্রে আমাদের মানে সবচেয়ে বেশি জরুরি হচ্ছে নিজেদেরকে একটি সহনশীল মানসিকতার মধ্যে তৈরি রাখা। নিজেদেরকে বিজনেসটাকে সাপোর্টিভ বিজনেস করতে হলে আমাদের নিজেদেরকে সহনশীল অবস্থানে থাকতে হবে। এবং প্রত্যেকে যদি আমরা একটি প্রবলেম সলভিং এর চিন্তা ভাবনা নিয়ে থাকি, আমরা যদি নিজেদের মধ্যে কি বলে প্রবলেমটাকে পুষে রাখি, তাহলে কিন্তু আমরা সহনশীল পর্যায়ে পৌঁছাতে পারবো না। যদি আমরা প্রবলেমটাকে সমাধানের চেষ্টা করি, তাহলে কিন্তু আমরা নিজেদেরকে একটি সুন্দর আহ ভবিষ্যৎ দিতে পারবো। এবং রেজিলিয়েন্স বা সহনশীলতা যদি আপনার মধ্যে থেকে থাকে, তাহলে কিন্তু সেটা আপনার ফেসে ইন্ডিকেট করবে। আপনার ফেসের মাধ্যমে বা আপনার এই সোশ্যাল কানেকশনের মাধ্যমে সেটা আপনাকে ইন্ডিকেট করবে যে আপনি কতটা সহনশীল পর্যায়ে আছেন। সো এগুলো হচ্ছে আমাদের মানে কি বলবো যে আমরা আহ সহনশীল পর্যায়ে পৌঁছতে হলে আমাদের কিছু এক্সটার্নাল ফিউল দরকার, বা আমাদের যেমন গাড়ির যেরকম গাড়ি চালানোর জন্য পেট্রোল দরকার, সেরকম আমাদের কিছু খাবার দরকার যেটাকে আমাদের মানসিক ভাবে সহনশীল পর্যায়ে নিতে পারে। তো স্যার যেটা বলেছেন যে আমি মানে জেফরি মরলক স্যার, উনি লোকাল অর্গানিক ফুড সিস্টেমে বিশ্বাস করেন। এবং অনেকে দেখা যায় যে আমরা আশেপাশে যেটা হয়তো উনাদের এলাকায় হয়ে থাকে যে রেইন ওয়াটার বা বৃষ্টির জলটাকে সংরক্ষণ করে, বৃষ্টির পানিটাকে সংরক্ষণ করে সেটা কৃষি ক্ষেত্রে ব্যবহৃত করেন। সেটা যদি আপনি আপনার ক্ষেত্রেও করতে পারেন, তাহলেও আপনি একটা সময়ে দেখা যাবে যে আপনার বিজনেস বা ইমোশনালি আপনি ডেভেলপড হতে পারবেন, বা এটা অপরের সহযোগিতায় তৈরি করতে পারে। এবং সর্বশেষ যেটা বলতে বলতে চেয়েছেন যে ইমোশনাল ডেভেলপমেন্ট, আমাদের মানসিকতাটাকে যদি আমরা ডেভেলপমেন্ট করতে পারি, সহনশীল পর্যায়ে করতে পারি, এবং আমাদের কমিউনিটিটাকে যদি স্ট্রং করতে পারি, তাহলে কিন্তু আমরা নিজেদেরকে একটি স্থায়ী পজিশনে নিয়ে যেতে পারবো। ওভার টু হোস্ট স্যার।
Wow, thank you. Well, thank you so much for your nice translation. জেফরি মোরলক যেটা বিশেষ করে মেনশন করেছেন যে ওয়ান পেসিভ কিভাবে কর্পোরেট স্টেবিলিটি মেনটেন করছে, এবং এই স্টেবিলিটির মেনটেন্যান্সের মাধ্যমে তার যে ফিজিক্যাল প্রোডাক্ট, ডিজিটাল প্রোডাক্ট, ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কানেক্টিভিটি, তারপরে তার সব কিছুর ভিতরে যে সমন্বয় সাধন করে একটা রেজিলেন্স বা একটা গোল টার্গেট অ্যাচিভ করার চেষ্টা করছে। এবং আমরা সেখানে এই প্ল্যাটফর্মের সাথে যুক্ত হতে পেরে এবং এই কর্মকাণ্ডের সাথে নিজেদেরকে সম্পৃক্ত রাখতে পেরে যে মানবিক কাজ, অর্থাৎ পৃথিবীতে যে মানবিক কাজ করার যে সুযোগ আমরা পেয়েছি, রিয়েলি আমরা খুব সৌভাগ্যবান। So thank you, Jeffrey Morlock, thank you, Rupa Roy, for your nice translation. Now, we'll listen to another great leader, global leader, international leader. Always we love to listen to her. So she is none but our sister, our uh, friend, Jean Aliva. I request Jean, please come on, and the mic is yours. You should add on Jeffrey Morlock.
Dhanavad, thank you so much, Engineer Shushanta. Oh my goodness. I am not sure what I am going to say right now because Jeffrey, wow, you covered so comprehensively. I mean, literally every single thing that and 100 more of what I was thinking about for self-sustainability. I mean, literally about, being able to live with little help from the outside world, to, whether it's gardening, taking care of ourselves, our spirituality, and just so many of the things. So I kind of want to take a different tactic here, because one of the things that you said, for me, what I was going to say was that it all boils down to the thing that Jeffrey prioritizes, which is the spirituality. I'm someone that believes that we have a source. There is a source of all things, the source of our love, our energy, our humanity. Everything comes from a source. And if we can get right with that source, if we can tap into that source, if we can always use that as our focal point, the rest of it takes care of itself. And so I believe that On Passive is fostering that in us through our community and through our love, literal love, and that is just, creating this sort of oh my gosh, like a ball of energy that we can all tap into, and it helps us to sustain ourselves. But I was thinking about the state of the world today, and the chaos and the turmoil, and just so much going on. And a lot of times when there's a lot going on in the world, in order to self-sustain or to sustain, there is a tendency to want to reduce, to limit, to say, okay, let's, as Jeffrey said, turn our thermostats down. Let's use less water. Let's use, let's minimize the things that we're taking from the environment. And that is certainly a technique and a tactic that it has an effect. But I'm thinking that we're moving into a new world, a new way of thinking, and On Passive is fostering a limitless thinking, not so much a reduce, but creative. So we are looking at what is out in the world. And I love that Jeffrey mentioned magnetics, because that's what I'm talking about. It's not using less of the fuels and the resources that we have, but what do we have that is all around us, in the ether, that's in the air. What can we pull? The magnetics of the earth. What can we use creatively that will self-sustain us? So it's like a switching of the way that we think about things, less of a lack, and let's reduce. And I'm not minimizing those. Those are definitely things that work, but a shifting over into a new mindset of everything is new now with On Passive. Like Ash said, there's a before On Passive, there's an after On Passive. We are now going to have the means to not only sustain ourselves, our families, our communities, but to think differently about how we use the natural resources, the things that are around us, things we never even imagined were possible. We're going to be able to do that because we're not going to be caught up in the grind of, oh my gosh, like people that, what is it called in Africa, where they limit the power, um, load shedding. I forget what the term is. There's terms for when where people, you can have power today, but you can't. This lack of everything, that we as a community are going to be thinking of new ways to use what is all around us, so that there is abundance for all. And so it's a sort of a shift, because Jeffrey has already covered all of the things that I was thinking about as far as sustaining the self, physical self, mental self, spiritual self, and then from a corporate standpoint, global standpoint, how do we, do we, are we, what do you call it, socially responsible with our funds, our corporate funds? Are we empowering and supporting our employees so that that is sustaining the just, oh my gosh, Jeffrey, you covered it all, literally covered it all. I'm just, and I think about, self-sustaining, the idea of, not needing anything outside the self in order to live, indefinitely. And as an introvert, that is much simpler for someone like me. But not everybody's an introvert, right? So we have to foster those relationships, that support system, that family that On Passive has created, so that I know that at any moment, if I need something, I can call on this On Passive family. If I am having a tough day, we just lost a brother, a fellow founder, Tim Dillon, passed away I think a day and a half ago, and that is that hurts the family, but we can reach out to each other and sustain and rebuild ourselves emotionally and spiritually, so that we can move forward and be stronger and do these things in honor of the people that have gone before us. So one of the other things I wanted to say, and I know I'm all over the place because I'm so excited that Jeffrey covered all this stuff. I want to say with On Passive's ecosystem, we are self-sustaining just by design, just by what Ash has created with the ecosystem. We don't have to worry about having one product. What if that one product is great, it makes a ton of money and everybody's using it, and then the technology changes or people's needs change, and then that one maybe gets, not used as much. On Passive is building product after product after product, and it's not like we have 50 products already planned, which we do, but just say even beyond that, if all of a sudden something changes in the world, we shift and adapt and we create something new, and we're always going to be doing that. So for me, self-sustainability, personal and global, requires that adapting all the time, always saying, okay, well, the technology's changing, people are changing, people don't want this anymore, they want this. The world, something with the environment has changed, so we need to shift that. So we're living in a soup, a nurturing soup of sustainability just by design. So we never have to worry running out. I mean, just that is such a gives such peace of mind, which I think is another key to self-sustainability. Are you at peace with yourself? Are you able, if something happens in your community, are you going to throw your arms up in the air and curl up in a ball? No, you're going to get out there and we're going to, lock arms and work together to solve these things. And I think sustainability is about that connectivity and coming up with creative solutions. And look at Obless. Obless is all about helping others, not just giving money to people to get them through the day, but to teach them, to provide a platform for them to be self-sustaining on their own, to be self-sufficient. So everything that we do is about teaching people to be self-sufficient, to self-sustain on a personal level, on a corporate level, on a global level. And so it's just, I think we're so very, very blessed to be in a company that just doesn't have a few things that it wants to do and do them well, which would be great. A lot of companies do that and they're very successful. But that's not enough for us. We are always going to be coming up with new and better ways. And I think it's going to be exciting and creative and fun, which is why I always say we're like children. Children, are just naturally resilient. They just bounce, they get through everything. They work things out in the sandbox. And I think that is what we have created here with Unpassive. And we're very blessed. And I know that was maybe not so much on topic, but if I leave people with anything, it's that instead of thinking, let's limit, let's let's reduce, let's do all those things, just sort of a shift of the thinking to how can we do it more creatively? And that might be using less of something, but it's just a different way of looking at things. And I think from that mindset, that mental focus, we are going to be part of the solutions of this world. We're going to be the ones creating the change. And so anyway, thank you so much, Engineer Shushanta. Thank you, Jeffrey and Rupa. Unbelievable. I look forward to what everybody else has to offer today, though it's going to be hard because Jeffrey covered it all. It was absolutely awesome. Thank you guys so much. It's a pleasure to be here always.
Thank you. Thank you, Jean. Thank you so much. You have very rightly pointed out from the speech of our Jeffrey Morlock that spirituality, he prioritized the spirituality, family, health, and so many things. But spirituality, that is the source of love, energy, humanity, and many more. And all on-passive is fostering all of those. So, water conservation, taking care of environment, reduce use of natural resources. On-passive is guiding all those things actually, and actually on-passive is gonna introduce a holistic business that will never make any harm for anything on this earth, neither animals nor any environment nor any plants, nothing. So it's a holistic approach of business that on-passive is going to introduce to this world, and we are lucky enough that to be a part of this holistic business journey. So thank you so much. I would request Rupa, please translate into Bengali for our local community.
Thank you, sir. And once again, thank you, Jean Oliver, ma'am. You are awesome. You are splendid person. Jean Oliver, ma'am, যেটা বলেছেন যে অলরেডি আমরা জেফরি মরলক স্যারের কাছ থেকে অনেকগুলো আইডিয়া পেয়েছি। স্যার যেটা বলেছেন যে মিনিমাইজ করার জন্য আমাদের ন্যাচারাল এলিমেন্টস গুলোকে বা আমাদের প্রাকৃতিকভাবে প্রাপ্ত জিনিসগুলোকে ওটা আমরা যেন কম করে ইউজ করি। কিন্তু জিন আলিবা ম্যাম বলেছেন যে তার আমরা যদি উল্টোটা করি বা আমরা অনপ্যাসিভের মাধ্যম থেকে যে সুযোগটা পাচ্ছি তাতে আমরা অনেক কিছুই অনেক বড়ভাবে করতে পারি। এখানে আমি ম্যামের কথায় উল্লেখ করছি যে উনি রেসিপি বলেছেন, একটা জিনিসকে রেসিপি বলেছেন, তিনটা জিনিসকে রেসিপির মধ্যে ফেলেছেন, লাভ, এনার্জি অ্যান্ড হিউম্যানিটি। এই তিনটা জিনিস যদি একত্র হয়ে থাকে তাহলে আমাদের অনেক কিছুই করা সম্ভব হয়ে থাকে। আমরা জানি যে আমাদের ব্যক্তিগত জীবনে বা প্রত্যেকেরই কিছু না কিছু একটি মানে কি বলবো দুর্যোগ বা একটি খারাপ সময় অনেকেরই থাকতে পারে, বা আমি খারাপ কথাটা উল্লেখ করতে চাচ্ছি না, একটি মানে বিপরীত সময় থাকতে পারে বা বিপরীত সময়ের মধ্য দিয়ে আমরা যাচ্ছি। কিন্তু আমরা নিজেদের মাইন্ড সেট আপটাকে যদি এমন ভাবে তৈরি করি তাহলে আমরা সাস্টেইনেবল পজিশনে যেতে পারি। সো এখানে আমরা অন প্যাসিভ থেকে কি পাচ্ছি যে লিমিটলেস সুযোগটা, লিমিটলেস আমাদের অবস্থান গ্লোবালি, শুধুমাত্র আমাদের নিজস্ব জায়গায় না, গ্লোবালি আমরা লিমিটলেস অবস্থান করব। তো এই যে আমাদেরকে এই সুযোগটা দেওয়ার জন্য আমরা অন প্যাসিভকে ধন্যবাদ জানাই, স্পেশালি অ্যাশ মুফারে স্যারকে ধন্যবাদ জানাই। অ্যাশ মুফারে স্যারের একটি কথা খুবই উল্লেখযোগ্য, বলেছেন যে আমাদের লাইফ, প্রত্যেকটা ফাউন্ডারের লাইফ বিফোর এন্ড আফটার অন প্যাসিভ, আমরা অন প্যাসিভের আগে জয়েন করার অবস্থান এবং অন প্যাসিভের পরে আমাদের অবস্থান কি হয়েছে বা কি হতে যাচ্ছে সেটা সম্পর্কে ধারণা দিয়েছেন। আমরা কিন্তু সবাই সোশ্যালি রেসপন্সিবল হব। আমরা নিজেদের জায়গা থেকে সামাজিকভাবে যদি একটি পরিবর্তন আনতে পারি তাহলে কিন্তু অবশ্যই সেটাও একটা স্থায়ী অবস্থান তৈরি করার ক্ষেত্রে একটি উল্লেখযোগ্য দিক। তো পরবর্তীতে আমরা যেটা যাচ্ছি যে অনপ্যাসিভ ইকোসিস্টেমের মাধ্যমে যে আমাদের একটি সাস্টেনেবল ইকোনমিক্যাল সাইট তৈরি হচ্ছে, এবং একটি প্রোডাক্ট টেকনোলজিক্যালি আমরা তো সবকিছু চেঞ্জ করতেই যাচ্ছি, অনপ্যাসিভ চেঞ্জ করতে যাচ্ছে, এবং একটি প্রোডাক্ট টেকনোলজিক্যালি সবকিছুর মধ্যে চেঞ্জ করতে যাচ্ছে। এবং করার ক্ষেত্রে সেটা বলবো যে ও কানেক্টের কথা। আমরা জানি যে এখন আমাদের সবগুলো প্রোডাক্ট আমাদের হাতে আসেনি, বা আমাদের কি বলবো যে আমাদের ব্যাগে চলে আসেনি, কিন্তু একটি প্রোডাক্টের মাধ্যমে অনেক কিছু পরিবর্তন করা সম্ভব। আরেকটি কথা উল্লেখ করেছেন যে আমাদের প্রত্যেকের ঘরেই নিজেদের সন্তান বা শিশু রয়েছে। তো এটাও কিন্তু আমাদের রিজাইলেন্ট বা সহনশীলতার একটি উপায়, বা আমরা নিজেদেরকে যদি আমরা আমাদের পরিবারের সাথে কানেক্টিভিটিটা আরো বেশি তৈরি করতে পারি, সেখানে আমরা নিজেদেরকে এটি সহনশীল পর্যায়ে তৈরি করে নিতে পারবো। এবং সেক্ষেত্রে আমাদের কিন্তু আমাদের মাইন্ড সেট আপটাও চেঞ্জ হবে, আমাদের ফোকাসটাও চেঞ্জ হবে, এবং আমরা নিজেদেরকে যদি ক্রিয়েটিভ করতে পারি, আমাদেরকে বিভিন্ন ভাবে যদি আমাদের দক্ষতা অর্জন করতে পারি বা বিভিন্ন ভাবে আমাদের দক্ষতা প্রকাশ করতে পারি, তাহলেও কিন্তু আমরা নিজেদেরকে সহনশীল মাইন্ড সেট আপে রাখতে পারবো। এবং সবচেয়ে বড় উপযোগী জিনিস হচ্ছে আমাদের মানসিক শান্তি, পিস। এই মানসিক শান্তি বজায় রেখে আমরা সবকিছু সামনের দিকে নিয়ে এগিয়ে চলে যাব এবং গ্লোবাল লেভেলে নিজেদেরকে পৌঁছতে পারবো। ধন্যবাদ স্যার।
থ্যাংক ইউ, থ্যাংক ইউ রূপা, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ ফর ইউর নাইস ইন্টারপ্রিটেশন ফর আওয়ার লোকাল কমিউনিটি। আশা করি আপনারা যারা বাংলায় শুনছেন তারা বুঝতে পেরেছেন যে অ্যাকচুয়ালি আজকে যে টপিক, সেই টপিকের উপরে আমাদের যারা স্পিকার তারা কি বলেছেন বা কি বোঝাতে চেয়েছেন। বিশেষ করে জিন এলিবা যেটা বললেন যে আমাদের অনপ্যাসিভের আগের এবং পরের জীবন, এই দুটোর ভিতরে ডিফারেন্সটা কি হতে চলেছে সেটা আমাদের সিও আসবে পরে বারবার বলেন। ডেফিনেটলি সেগুলো আমরা দেখবো এবং সেগুলো আমরা এনজয় করব। এবং অনপ্যাসিভ কিন্তু আমাদের সোশ্যাল রেসপন্সিবিলিটি, সোসাইটির প্রতি যে আমাদের যে একটা দায় দায়িত্ব রয়েছে সেটাও কিন্তু আমাদের শিখাচ্ছে, বা সেই দায়িত্ববোধ কিন্তু আমাদের ভিতরে ডেভেলপ করছে। এবং উনি বলছেন যে যাই কিছু আমরা করি না কেন সব কিছু কিন্তু আমাদের নিজের থেকেই শুরু হয়, অর্থাৎ সেলফ। ইফ ইউ লাইক টু স্টার্ট এনিথিং ইউ হ্যাভ টু স্টার্ট ফ্রম ইউর সেলফ। সো সেলফ সাস্টেনেবিলিটি ইজ মোস্ট ইম্পর্টেন্ট। এবং উনি যেটা বলছেন যে ইকোসিস্টেম, অনপ্যাসিভ ইকোসিস্টেম, এটাও আমাদের একটা সাস্টেনেবল ভেরি ডিজিটাল প্রোডাক্ট, যেটা আজ পর্যন্ত কোনো কোম্পানি এরকম একটা ইকোসিস্টেম কিন্তু করতে পারেনি, যার মাধ্যমে ওইএস মানে ইকোসিস্টেম কিন্তু আমাদের অ্যাকচুয়াল লাইক এ ভার্চুয়াল অফিস। আমরা যদি ইকোসিস্টেমে ঢুকি তাহলে কিন্তু আমাদের business related all kinds of information products, everything we are getting in one product. That is the best creation of OnPassive. So সেলফ সাস্টেনেবিলিটি এটা আমাদের যে মনের শান্তি, সেই শান্তিটাকেও কিন্তু আনতে সাহায্য করে। সো থ্রু OnPassive we are having connectivity across the globe, এবং we are creating solution for the human. We are creating the right solutions for the people, those actually they need. So definitely we are going to enjoy new OnPassive যেটা করছে, that is a unique, new and a better way, that is different from the traditional way. And আমাদের যারা চিলড্রেন, আমাদের যারা সন্তান, তাদের ভিতরে কিন্তু ন্যাচারালি সঙ্গত মানে স্বাভাবিকভাবে কিন্তু তাদের ভিতরে রেজিলিয়েন্স বা সহমর্মিতা বা তাদের ভিতরে থাকে। সুতরাং সবকিছু নির্ভর করছে আমাদের মাইন্ডসেটের উপরে, এবং ওয়ার আমরা যে কোন মাইন্ডসেট আমরা গ্রো করছি সেই মাইন্ডসেটের উপরে ডিপেন্ড করছে যে আমাদের ফিউচার বা আমাদের ক্যারিয়ার বা আমাদের নেক্সট জেনারেশন কি পেতে চলেছে OnPassive থেকে। মাই ডিয়ার ফ্রেন্ডস, দোজ হু আর in this webinar, I request please raise your hand if anyone is interested to speak on the topic, or if you like to add anything on the topic, you are most welcome. I request to raise your hand please. By this time I would ask a question to our great leader Jeffrey Morlock. So I request those who are interested to speak on the topic, or if you like to add কোনো কিছু যদি আপনি যোগ করতে চান, এই টপিকের উপরে কিছু বলতে চান, please raise your hand so that I can give you chance to speak. And by this time I like to ask a question to Jeffrey Morlock. My dear great leader, my dear friend, my dear elder brother Jeffrey Morlock, you are in on passive for more than 5 years. How did you maintain your self sustainability in that past long 5 years? Could you please explain? Because we are uh, already we are unstable. We are expecting some apple, but we are not getting that apple. That is delaying for several causes, several challenges companies going through. But still, the leaders, those who have joined at the initial or the beginning of this company, they are very, very much sustainable, confident, and they have full confidence on the company and on our CEO. So, how did you maintain your self sustainability in the last 5 years? And please give us some tips so that we can also maintain our sustainability to build our great resilience for the growth. Over to Jeffrey Morlock.
Wow, that excuse me, that is an excellent topic. I certainly appreciate that. Before I jump into that, though, I do want to acknowledge and appreciate Gene. Gene, you did exactly what I expected that you would do, and you just expanded our understanding and you pumped up our imagination, and you took it exactly where I thought you would, and I love it. That's why I love listening to you. Um, going with your question though, when, the first thing, right off the bat, we need to understand sustainability has got to have a big picture, because if you don't have a big picture mindset, you're not going to understand why. You're going to lose hope. You're going to get discouraged. You're going to get frustrated. I would say the same thing with, and this is, I'm assuming that the crux of your question is basically, hey Jeff, you've been doing this for going on 6 years. Why? How come you haven't gotten frustrated? How come you haven't, gotten downtrodden about not being where we expected to be 3 years ago? I mean, how are you keeping up, and how are you sustaining the positivity? And that's because I'm looking at a big picture. I know where Ash has wanted to go. He has painted that picture for us, that blue sky thinking, if you will. He's painted that for us time and time and time again. When we look at the things that we've gone through on the way to where we're going, we can take all of those in stride, because what he has done, if you don't look at the challenges and just look at what he's accomplished, okay, yeah, we're not maybe where we thought. We're not where he thought we'd be. We're not where anybody thought we'd be. We have hit some very serious challenges that would have thrown others off track, would have put the company into failure. That is simply not the case because of the mindset. He's got this big picture mindset. And you know what? Jean talked a little bit about that not 15 minutes ago. And she talked about how Ash is trying to get us this creative mindset, this abundance mindset, this mindset that says we know there's enough. What we've got is a distribution problem. So let's take care of a distribution problem, and let's do all these things that we want to do so that we've got enough. And by extension, those that we're around are going to have enough because we're going to share it. You need to have that big picture in front of you, looking at it. And I do that all the time. I'm not only looking at what OnPassive is doing in the big picture, but how does OnPassive fit globally with what's going on? Are you kidding? Man, anybody that understands what's going on in the world right now, not only on the ecological side or the economic side, right? But in every system we've got, it's all going toward decentralization. OnPassive is plugged into that model, but it's doing it in a turn mode where it's developing a system. Again, Gene talked about the sustainability of the digital ecosystem, and I touched on it when I talked about sustainability as a whole, with not only the on-passive ecosystem and the digital products and the automation of the AI and the marketing platform on which it sits, but all the peripheral things that we have going on that we're not directly in contact with. The innovation labs, the R&D that's going on, the strategic partnerships, the data centers, and the global interconnectivity that we've got. All of these things are helping to paint a big picture within OnPassive. But when you look at OnPassive with the global economic whole, economically, we're helping to change the world, okay? Economically, we're putting in place new systems that are going to automatically cause the other systems to become obsolete. On the other side of that, and I loved, man, Gene, I'm telling you, girl, you were spot on, because you were exactly what I thought you'd get into. And you even mentioned part of it, in that the other side of that is the spiritual side of it, where we are all connected to a great source, the all that is, right? The source of all that is, God by any other name. When we're doing what's right because it's right, and we've got an open heart, she's not kidding. There are energies that are available, subtle energies to us that are available as long as we're in the right mindset. And that energy going out from us creates and brings back to us exactly that. That's where you get the law of attraction. That's where you get the law of sowing and reaping, right? That's why the more compassionate you are, the more compassionate others are to you, or anything else. So the more good we're trying to do, look at OnPassive. Is it any wonder that we're experiencing the level of success that we've got now? Not to me, it isn't, because I see that OnPassive is using that subtle energy. Now, Jean didn't come right out and say it, but she alluded to it. That energy, OnPassive, has got its own subtle energy of compassion and compassionate action, which is part of what OnPassive is doing, and it is spread throughout the globe. We're a part of that. We are a big part of that, and that network of OnPassivians that we call ourselves are going to be very instrumental in curbing the direction of the economics as we go into the next several years. And I'm in love with OnPassive. I love it. You know, I think that where they're going and what they're doing, what Mr. Mufar, his resiliency and his steadfastness to commitment to the entire vision that he had to start with. And then, I mean, some of us, think about it. He's had to drag us by our feet, just pick us up and drag us along with him, because we're always focused on something that perhaps doesn't really warrant our focus. The more we focus on our accomplishments and less on the challenges, the bigger the accomplishments become and the easier the challenges also become. We are on the way. We have always been on the way. Our trajectory has never changed. And when you look at what OnPassive is doing on a global scale within the global economic systems, man, we are part and parcel with what's going on in the entire universe. Right here, I mean, a lot of people, oh, come on, Jeffrey, you're saying universe. Now you're way out there. Well, I'm telling you, these energies, they're new, and they're going out to the universe. They're coming back to us. All these things are working together, and we are not failing. We are not going to fail, and it's going to happen when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. So my sustainability within OnPassive is just a matter of looking at the past, looking at what we've done on the way to where we're going. I mean, if you've got something that you can look back and you've got a history of something happening, it's very easy to see what's going to happen in the future. And if I just look back at what Mr. Mufar has done over the last 5 years, I have no problem understanding that it might take a few more weeks or it might take a couple of months, but we're going to be in that seat. We're going to be in that saddle on that magnificent beast we call a unicorn, and it's going to be providing success to us at such an individual level that we're going to be able to share that with our communities. and our communities are going to be lifted up. And when that happens, that energy starts to amplify. And then guess what? Not only communities, but now it's going to be cities and states and countries. And next thing you know, globally, just like what we're doing with lifting humanity, we're in the right place at the right time. There's no chance of failure for us. So that's how I look at it. I get the big picture. If you get a big picture, then you're going to stay strong and your heart's going to be open, because you're going to understand, yeah, we may have a few moments of challenge, but overall, we're still strong and heading forward. So I know that was long-winded. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you.
A little more than you bargained for, huh?
What Jeffrey said, that is your mindset, that is our mindset, that matters everything. How big picture I'm seeing, how we see, that is, how can we foresee that what is going to happen in future. Jeffrey, I'm translating into Bengali for our local community because our Rupa couldn't hear Jeffrey. So you see that Jeffrey said উনি 5 থেকে 6 বছর এখানে আছেন এবং উনি ওয়ান প্যাসিভের যে বড় পিকচার, যে বড় ছবি দেখছেন যে ওয়ান প্যাসিভ কি করতে চলেছে, এবং সেটা উনি দেখতে পেরেছেন, বুঝতে পেরেছেন কিভাবে। উনি যদি উনার ব্যাক, অর্থাৎ যখন উনি জয়েন করেছেন, জয়েনিং থেকে আজকের যে অ্যাচিভমেন্ট, অ্যাকমপ্লিশমেন্টস যেগুলো ওয়ান প্যাসিভ করেছে, সেখান থেকে নিজের মাইন্ডসেট, নিজের যে বিলিফ সিস্টেম, নিজের থট, সেটাকে ইজিলি মানে আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড বা ইজিলি বোঝা সম্ভব যে ওয়ান প্যাসিভ কি করতে চলেছে। এবং ওয়ান প্যাসিভ অ্যাজ এ স্টার্ট আপ কোম্পানি যে সমস্ত চ্যালেঞ্জেস, নিউ চ্যালেঞ্জেস ফেস করেছে, সেই চ্যালেঞ্জগুলোকে ওভারকাম করে এই দীর্ঘ 5-6 বছরে যা যা তার অর্জন, সেটা একটি কোম্পানি হিসেবে অনেক কিছু। সুতরাং জেফরি মরলক উনি প্রথম থেকে আসেন এবং অনেক কিছু এখানে দেখছেন এবং দেখেছেন। সবকিছু মিলিয়ে ওনার যে স্থিতিশীলতা, অর্থাৎ সেলফ সাস্টেনেবিলিটি, ওটা কিন্তু উনি কন্টিনিউ করছেন, কন্টিনিউ করতে পারছেন। এবং হি ইজ ভেরি মাচ এক্সাইটেড, ভেরি মাচ এনার্জেটিক উইথ অল দ্য অ্যাকমপ্লিশমেন্টস অফ ওয়ান প্যাসিভ। এবং উনি যেটা বলছেন যে মাইন্ডসেট, অর্থাৎ আপনি আপনার জীবনে বা আপনার লাইফে আপনি কি চান, ডেফিনেটলি সেটা আপনার মাইন্ডসেটের ভিতরে নিতে হবে এবং দ্যাট উইল ক্রিয়েট অ্যান এনার্জি। সেই এনার্জি আপনাকে ইউনিভার্স, অর্থাৎ হোল ইউনিভার্সে সেই এনার্জি ছেড়ে দেবেন এবং সেই এনার্জি আপনি যে জিনিসটা চান, যা আপনার লাইফে অ্যাচিভমেন্ট চান, সেই এনার্জির সাথে মিক্স করে দ্যাট উইল কাম ব্যাক টু ইউ। সো আপনি কিভাবে জিনিসটাকে দেখছেন বা এই অ্যাচিভমেন্টগুলোকে এনজয় করছেন, তার উপর নির্ভর করছে যে হাউ সাস্টেনেবল ইউ উইল বি or you are right now. But if you are sustainable by yourself, and that will be helpful for you and also for the whole world. That will create resilience and that will help for the humanity to uplift humanity across the world. এবং অনপেসিভ এবং আমাদের সিও অ্যাশ মুফারে উনি টায়ারলেসলি ডে নাইট যে কাজটি করে যাচ্ছেন, সে আজ পর্যন্ত কেউ কোনো প্রতিষ্ঠান, কেউ কোনো ব্যক্তি করেননি। বাট সেই কাজটি উনি করে যাচ্ছেন সারা পৃথিবীতে এই মানব জাতির উন্নয়নের জন্য। এবং উনি বলছেন যে আমি খুব লাকি যে আমি এই প্ল্যাটফর্মের সাথে যুক্ত হতে পেরেছি এবং আমরা রাইট টাইম অ্যান্ড রাইট প্লেসে আসি। সো রিয়েলি উই আর ভেরি প্রাউড অফ অন প্যাসিভ। So thank you so much, Jeffrey Morlock. I didn't see any hand raised. I think we have a co-host, Amal Fatah. She can't raise hand as a co-host. So I request Amal Fatah say a few words on the topic.
Yeah, thank you very much, brother Session. At the beginning, I would like to say good morning from Canada, good evening, hello everyone, happy and blessing Friday to you all. At the beginning, thank you very, very much, brother Jeffrey, for outstanding presentation. I love it, as you know. I follow you. What I am going to say, this is a wide topic. And as we know, at Massive, we have ecosystem. it's the same situation around us and in our universe. We have the same ecosystem and we live in it. And also we have bioecosystem, which from where we are comes. And we are not only the mammal's kingdom as a human being who are living in this biosystem or bioecosystem or ecosystem. We have another living and non-living things around us where we are share everything, even a small amount between us. And we live together in this nature in a balance system. Yes, in a balance system. That which created by God. So anything in this balance will make bad or good impact on the others, because we are here to complete each other's living and non-living things we share. For example, the plants around us in the day, now in the daylight, they give us the oxygen. We consume this oxygen and we give them CO2 that they use in the daylight, and the night they give you CO2. So we are in cycle, and this cycle, it is unstoppable and continues day by day. Any small effect in this cycle will affect the life of others, and our life will be affected. And as a human being, what we are doing in this nature, sometimes we damage this balance. So we have to punish by the nature. So I will go to Ambassador. We are in ecosystem, and we are in this ecosystem, we are connected. So as a human and what we around us, by way we are connected. Everything around us, alive and non-alive, has awarenesses. We are in common as living thing and non-living thing. We have the same three primary awareness. Some of them primary awareness, and the other vibrant awareness, and the other the life awareness. We are in common this. Our God gives this three commands awareness to us, so that this is give us the ability to be in contact and unity and share everything, and no one, we can say no one best from other. From the small unit cell, from the small insect, you may be sometimes stepped it by away or by accident, to the human being at the best who God has created. So in this way, we have the ability as a human being, and we have the special awareness that our God gives us, that we call it love awareness. And this the love awareness is the power and the energy of our passion, of our ingenuity, of our to be alive, to do, to create, and to change what we wanna, and to create what we would like to create. This is our intelligence. This is our creativity. So, as I said, we are connected. We are from the same common cell. From the whole universe, you see, until the small unit cell that we come from in it, in the common essence, until that human beings. So in this way, we are from two parts, matter and the other is energy. And the energy can transfer to matter and come back to energy. But matter is matter. So it is the more powerful role is related to the energy. In this way, because we are from the same mental, from the same metals, from the same atom, we have the same three primary comments that could be connected, that could be to transfer the knowledge between everything around us. This is the nature around us that we are belong to it and we are from it. Finally, nothing is impossible. Everything could happen because when God put in this universe, He needs us to discover what around things. Everything is here around you. It's easy to reach, it's easy to create, but we have to know the way how. We will not come bring something from us. We will not bring us into the world. We will not create anything. Everything is around you, around us. But we have to know the way how to reach and to use it and to be useful for us. How? By using love awareness that is connected to God, that is connected to everything around you. Everything speech and speak and send you love. Everything around you have been created by love. So you cannot give love to being connected. Why? Why a human being cannot give love to be connected and understand everything and to use everything around him for himself and for others, to share care and to make the world a better place to live? Why? Why everything understand his message from God, but a human being didn't understand the message that is special for this awareness, love, and it's the best who God has created until now. And everything around you is created for you to enjoy your life simply, not complexity, and to help others. And we are in steps. God put us in steps from the bottom to higher, to give hands for us, to push us, to pull us. So what Jeffrey said about is for emotional intelligence or natural intelligence or artificial intelligence is not impossible. Everything is here. You can speak to water. You can speak to anything. You can take the help from the universe around you. So finally, nothing is impossible. But how will be used? This is the question. For uplifting humanity, for us to make the life easy, to share care, to spread love. That is the nature of the universe. It is love. Everything is created around you by love. Every cell in your body created by love. Your body needs love. Everything united in your body by love. And you are united to outside by love. So please, it's easy. When you put your hand on the table and knock the table, in this way you make connection between you and the wood. The wood understands you, but you didn't understand it. Because we are not humble enough to put love in everything. because I am on everything. No, we are from the first unison in this world. We come from the same. I am not different from the small insect. We are the same. Maybe when she died, make, make a little bit in the balance that affect my life. So we are here to be in a circle, to be connected, to be unstoppable, to be connected, to be in our ecosystem that will be connected to our universe ecosystem and bioecosystem. We have to change, we have to transform, to understand what the method that between us, and we make email or mail or connect. Yes, they are friendly because they are building vibrance of humanity. So this is very, very simple if we understand from where we are and why we are here and what we have to use for what and how will be used. Thank you very much, Shasanta, for this opportunity. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Somal Fateh. Thank you for your nice words. She said
Thank you.
that awareness, energy, and love. These are everything. Everything is everything is available in on passive. সো ওয়ান প্যাসিফিক গিভিং আস সো মাচ লাভ, অনেক ভালোবাসা, অনেক সচেতনতা এবং অনেক শক্তি আমাদের ভিতরে যোগাচ্ছে। এবং আমরা যেমন ওয়ান প্যাসিফিক ইকোসিস্টেম, যেমন আমাদের ডিজিটাল ইকোসিস্টেম, তেমনি আমরা আমাদের ন্যাচারাল ইকোসিস্টেম আছে যেখানে লিভিং নন লিভিং থিংস আছে। সেখানে যেমন আমাদের একটা কি বলবো, একটা ব্যালেন্স, আমরা লাইফ লিড করছি। যেমন গাছপালা আমাদের অক্সিজেন দিচ্ছে, আমরা আমাদের কার্বন ডাইঅক্সাইড যেটা আমরা ছাড়ছি সেটা গাছপালা করছে, কনজিউম করছে। এভাবে একটা ব্যালেন্সিং লাইফ আমরা লিড করছি এই ন্যাচারাল ইকোসিস্টেমে। তেমনি ওয়ান প্যাসিফিকের যে ইকোসিস্টেম, দ্যাট ইজ এ ব্যালেন্স ইকোসিস্টেম দ্যাট ইজ গিভিং এভরিথিং ফর আওয়ার business success, for our business information, everything we are getting from our digital ecosystem of our own passive. So thank you. So we are almost end of our session. Finally, I like to ask another question to our another leader, Jean Aliva. I like to ask to Jean. Jean, you are also quite for a long time in on passive. And I always see you so energetic, so inspiring, and so exciting. Even in your not in your bad health, you are not in good health in last few months. Still, I am seeing you in different webinars. You are speaking. You are always energetic. So I would request Zin, how do you maintain your self stability to make a resilience across the globe? This
Thank
is
you,
the
Engineer.
last question to please go ahead.
Thank you so much. First, I want to thank Amal. That was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely, you perfectly captured the fact that love is everything, and that's the source we'll be pulling from to create the solutions of this world. So thank you so much for that. It was absolutely beautiful, and I can answer your question, Engineer Shushanta, by tapping into what Jeffrey brought when he talked about the big picture. I mean, that was the perfect embodiment of exactly what self-sustains me. It's that big picture. When you see it, you can't unsee it. When you feel it, you can't unfeel it. When you see it, it's almost like you can't really look at the whole picture. It's like looking at the face of God type of a thing where you go blind. If you see the whole thing, you go blind. So you can only sort of look at, I'm going to look at that pretty cloud over there, and I'm going to look at that pretty cloud over there, because the whole thing is too literally magnificent. It is spectacular what has been created with Unpassive. So you talk about my little challenge with health. This is the kind of thing that keeps you going. When you have such a purpose, when you see what good is coming, it makes you want to get healthy. It makes you want to get strong because you want to be here to see the fruition of all of this. It's so exciting. Just thinking about the metro station in Dubai. I mean, that's crazy. That is just crazy. And that's just a small, tangible thing. That's not even talking about the intangible effects that Unpassive is going to have across the globe. If you just look at if people want to do the meat and potatoes of things, look at the FIFA World Cup. You look at, these very literal, very real things, the GITEX Global, the Paris Summit that happened just days ago or yesterday or whatever. The real get your hands on them things that this company has done is enough to blow your mind. So if all you do is look at those things, how can you lose your enthusiasm? How can you not be excited every day to be in this? It is really so not about apples anymore. It is not about any of that. Yes, those are real things. It's going to, help our families and all that stuff. But this is so much bigger than any one of us. So I really do encourage people, stay healthy, get your rest, go within, get your spirituality, get your center strong, because what's coming is so huge, so transformative for ourselves and the rest of the world that we need to have our wits about us. We need to be, strong in the heart, but strong in the mind, because it really, when great goodness comes to the world, when great abundance comes to the world, the less savory characters might come a knocking, and people might come up and all of a sudden be your best friend because you're doing well in life or whatever. So we need to be strong enough to be able to say thank you very much, no thank you, I've got work to do in the world, and surround yourself with good people and good projects and get on with the great work of changing the planet. And so anyway, thank you, Josh. Jeffrey, you just perfectly captured it. It's that you can't, and it came straight from your heart too. It bubbles up, and you can't. It's inexplicable. You can't explain very much. It just is. It's like, and again, Michael Williams has this. Anybody that speaks just sort of extemporaneously, right from the heart. You can talk for hours. Marty DeGarmo, Chris Johnson, Red Redford, all these people that can just talk and talk and talk about Unpassive. It's because they see that big picture, and it's so exciting that you can't shut up about it, right? You really just can't. It's so encouraging and empowering, and we're so blessed to be here. And I know we're over time, but thank you so much, Engineer Sushanta, and everybody that organizes this particular platform. It's such an honor and a privilege to be here every week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, জিন। জিন যেটা বললো এবং আমাদের জেফরি মরলক যেটা বলেছেন, big picture, how big picture you are seeing, you are feeling in your mind, that is most important. জিন যেটা বললো যে অনেক কিছুই হচ্ছে, বাট তার ভিতরে যদি আমরা ছোট্ট একটা এক্সাম্পল দিই, যে দুবাই মেট্রো স্টেশন, দ্যাট ইজ ভেরি ট্যানজেবল, দ্যাট ইজ আমরা চোখে দৃশ্যমান, আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি। জাইটেক্স গ্লোবাল, সেখানে আমাদের অ্যাক্টিভিটিস কি ছিল, ফিফা ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপ, সেখানে আমাদের অ্যাক্টিভিটিস কি ছিল, সবকিছু দেখে যে what is going to happen through Unpassive across the globe. If you can foresee all those things, you cannot be cool without excitement. So you are really will be excited if you can understand, if you can feel what is gonna happen in this world through Unpassive. এবং উনি বলছেন যে মার্টি ডিগারমো, রেড ফান্ড, জেফরি মরলক, মাইকেল উইলিয়াম, so many leaders, what they are doing, why they are excited. Actually, they understand the strength for the future, what is coming on. সো আমরা সবাই যদি সেটাকে ফিল করতে পারি, অনুভব করতে পারি, ডেফিনেটলি আমরাও সবসময় এক্সাইটেড থাকবো। অফকোর্স আমাদের লাইফ লিড করার জন্য আমাদের অ্যাপেল বা মানি দরকার আছে, বাট দ্যাট টেক্স সাম টাইম। অ্যাজ said that he is making everything smooth. He don't want to interrupt anything by starting something. So once everything will be smooth, definitely we'll get our expected apple or whatever we are expecting. But we have to be patient, we have to be engaged with the system, and we have to go with the flow. Surely we will win, will be we would be able to lead a good life. There is no doubt. Mr. Ash and his dream team, they ensures everything. This is the only company on this earth that ensures succeed for each and everyone. I have been in my own business for around 30 years. I didn't see any company that ensures succeed for each and everyone. Mr. Ash and his team, they are committed. They are working tirelessly day night for our success. This is totally different. This is totally unique. This is beyond any traditional way of business. So thank you so much. I request Jeffrey for your closing remarks or your finishing line. With this, we'll close the webinar.
Wow. Okay. Can you hear me, Sushanta?
Yeah, please, just your closing remarks or
There we go. Okay.
finishing line.
All right. Well, my sound quit out for a second, so I'm sorry about that. Wow. You know what, Gene, you have added so much to this platform here, and I certainly do appreciate that. Men alive. You know, when we talk about reducing and recycling and using less and all that, doing that, I mean, Gene, you're absolutely right. That is not something we need to be too much focused on because it's not going to be forever. But that helps us where we are now on the way to where we're going. And there's going to be a point where we're no longer concerned with putting effort into our sustainability because it's going to happen as a matter of course. It's going to happen because of, as a result of what we're doing, right? In that we're doing what's right because it's right. We're doing it with heart for the greater good. And again, you are so right on when you talked about on passive being so big that it's really hard to grasp. You know, I find everything that's happening on passive at times overwhelming, and I can't digest it all. I can't grab it and digest it, and I can't make heads or tails out of all of it all at the same time. And I got to pick and choose. Even me. I mean, yeah, I know you're going to think, oh, that doesn't sound like you. Well, let me tell you, I got to pick and choose what I can do and what activity I take, or I get overwhelmed. For those that may feel the same way, or maybe you feel like you don't understand what On Passive is doing or where we're really at, just know it's happening. It is happening. And the world is going this way as well. On Passive's a part of that. And not only is On Passive a part of that, but that shows you the rightness of it. But it's also a very strong current in the river of events that is going on globally. And I'm telling you, life is going to be real good for us. We're going to start going and doing things and jumping into things. But when we talk about future sustainabilities and those things that are going to affect that, right now, it goes two different ways. But what we're looking at is probably from the environmental and the economic side of it, which is about renewable energy, electric, autonomous vehicles, sustainable agriculture and the circular economy, green infrastructure, all these things, the water management, carbon capture, sustainable materials. Those are the things that we're probably focused on within On Passive because we're thinking about other things. But there is another side to which we've been talking about, and Gene, you've talked about too, and that's the spiritual, energetic side of it. So we're in good shape. You enjoy where you're going and just breathe. when you breathe in, make sure you breathe out a couple times or a little longer than you breathe in. And, you'll settle down. You'll start to get the big picture. So thank you for everything. Thank you so much for the interaction with the folks here. I appreciate that. I've come away with more information, and I feel like it was very helpful for me today too. So thank you, Sushanta.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'll take one finishing line that, as Jeffrey said, if you understand where we are and where we are going to, that's enough. That's enough to understand on passive. If we are sustainable, if we are self-sustainable, I'm sure that on passive ensures a sustainable income or sustainable earning for rest of our life, even legacy for our next generation. So thank you so much for all the speakers, participants, those who have spoken, those who couldn't spoke, no problem. Definitely you will speak in the next week or the next webinar. But I like to express my gratitude and convey my heartfelt thanks to all the speakers for sharing your thought, for sharing so many information. Definitely we enriched with lots of knowledge based on our topic. So wishing best of luck to all of you. With this, I like to conclude. Definitely do something good every day. Every day, think positive, do positive. Everything will be positive. Everything will be fine in your life. With this, we like to close today's session. Hope next week we'll see you again. So we are so in it to win it. Good night,
You're
everyone.
so in it to win it. Good night. Good night, all. You're so
Good
in
night,
it to win
all.
it.
We are
Bye, bye,
so
bye.
We are so in it to win it. Bye, Jeffrey. Bye, Anjanu Sushanta. Bye, everyone.
We are so in it to win it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.